Alright, so boom. Are you an older person that hates the current state of hip hop? Are you sick of the fact that we came all the way from the heartfelt, serious, lyrical MCs to now we have all these jive turkeys out here spitting all of this hooliganism? Do you wish times were how they were back in your youth and you can't help but realize that hip hop just isn't the same anymore? Well, look no further, because today I'm here to bring you rap songs that are perfect for old heads. What I'm doing for this video is showing y'all rap tracks where the premise of the song is the rapper talking about how hip hop just ain't the same no more. Rap used to be about the struggle, real life, hardships, and overcoming the grittiness of this little rock we call Earth. And now we have everyone sounding the same. People just want to hop on trends to make a quick buck. People don't care about the craft no more, man. Hip hop is dead. These are songs with that type of subject matter. One song I know old heads will enjoy though is Blame Myself by Noni Pariah.
Just keep hiding all of my demons where I know you can't see them, or I'm disguising all of my pain, put the pills inside it, swallow shit down cause these hoes keep lying. Whoa, I can't blame you, I just blame myself. Should've known from the start, don't ever wear your heart, all cause the pain I felt. Learning how to cope when you're not around, finding my hope in the problems I drown.
Follow Noni Pariah on his Instagram and YouTube channel so that you can really see the heart he has for music. Now, let's put on our Kangos and our Adidas tracksuits, grab our Walkmans, and let's get into the video.
If hip hop should die before I wait, I load an extended clip and body him all day.
Who else better to start out with than the gentleman who caused one of the biggest riffs in the hip hop community? I probably would have never made this video if it wasn't for this song and album right here. So in December 2006, Nas released his album Hip Hop Is Dead, which also had a song on it called Hip Hop Is Dead. During the mid 2000s is when rap saw a severe decline in quality in the eyes of most people. This is the time the South had took over and was making nothing but crunk and snap music. People from the South was solely interested in making dance, club, and party music that people can be silly and mess around to. Unfortunately, these are the songs that started to get very popular and were played on the radio, played on 106 & Park, MTV Countdowns, etc. These years pissed off a lot of rap fans that loved conscious, serious rap because it became, is that seriously all it takes to get a hot song nowadays? You don't even have to write from the heart no more. You could just make up a stupid dance and sell records. Like, the OGs were pissed. Nas has described his album title as meaning that hip hop is going to fizzle out because it has no political voice anymore. There's not many people in the genre that have a lot of power in regards to helping to rebuild America's commerce and the state of living. Although that's what he meant, literally nobody took it that way and assumed Nas simply meant, oh, hip hop is dead because the music that comes out now is trash. One person that took it that way was Soulja Boy Tell Him, Guam! You already know the issue he had to go through with so many OGs calling him out and saying, this Soulja Boy kid is the one that killed hip hop. Everybody just wants to make a dance song now. This is ridiculous. This got to Soulja so bad that there was a viral World Star clip back in the day where Soulja said, everybody coming at me saying I killed hip hop. Real talk, the person who killed hip hop was Nas, dog. If it wasn't for him creating an album and starting this whole discussion of hip hop being dead, people wouldn't even be thinking this. He's the one who even put this narrative out there, so it's low-key him that killed hip hop.
For real talk, the nigga who killed hip hop for real is Nas, dog. That nigga killed hip hop. He came out publicly and said hip hop is dead, and then after that, everybody started saying hip hop is dead, hip hop is dead, oh shit, Nas said it. And when nobody think about hip hop, so nigga, you killed hip hop. Cause think about it, if Nas would have never said hip hop is dead, then motherfuckers would have never thought it was dead. Yeah, that was a dumbass. Like, he should have thought that shit over.
He immediately tried to backpedal on this, and Soulja mentioned in an interview like, what? I never said Nas killed hip hop. People twisted my words. Even though that's exactly what he fucking said. He was like, my point simply was if Nas never made that album and never started that movement, then hip hop would be in a better place.
Did though, they took my words out of context and said, Soulja Boy said Nas killed hip hop. And it was just like, oh, Soulja Boy said what? Oh, hell no, no, he didn't say that. I said, if Nas would have never put out the album Hip Hop Is Dead, today hip hop would be in a better state than it is.
Right.
And that's the truth.
But with that whole history lesson out the way, if you were someone that agreed with the hip hop is dying narrative at this time, then you probably loved this Nas album and this song. Hip Hop Is Dead was the 5th song on the album, and it sees Nas touching on how he's one and the same with hip hop. He grew up listening to it, he was influenced by the ruggedness of street life in his own raps, and that's why he has an attachment to telling personal stories and having lyrics that mean something.
What influenced my rap? Stick-ups and killings, kidnappings, project buildings, drug dealings.
And in today's hip hop, that's not the case. Everyone sounds the same, and the reason why the intellectual people don't take rap serious is because we just be talking about nonsense a lot of the times with club ass shaking music. So we got to make a change in the genre, but if it dies, then I'm dying with it because I am hip hop. Everybody sound the same, commercialized the game, reminiscing when it wasn't all business. It forgot where it started, so we all got to hear for the dearly departed. I had to start off this video with this song because this perfectly encapsulates the meaning of this whole video and the other songs that I'm going to talk about.
Shorty, I love you.
This man Eminem was really bowing out in the mid 2000s. That period after the Encore album came out and before Relapse, that was a really dark period in M's life. Other than the Curtain Call compilation album, that man wasn't putting out anything, and he had people thinking his career was over. And that was the whole reason he even named the album Curtain Call. He had the theater performance show theme running through his album titles, The Eminem Show and Encore, but he admitted in a 2005 radio interview that the reason why he named his compilation album Curtain Call was because he legit did not know if he was going to release any more music after this, and that he was about to be done in his career already.
I'm at a point in my life right now where I feel like I don't know where my career is going right now. You know, I mean, this is the reason that we call it Curtain Call, because this could be the final thing. We don't know.
So Marshall had a lot of songs that were recorded during that time, but the songs were never officially released. Throughout the past decade and a half, there have been multiple songs that have leaked, and the story behind these songs is that these are the tracks that would have been on a 06, 07, or 08 album if he released one during that time. Syllables is one of the more popular songs of these leaks. The song features Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Cassius, Stat Quo, and Jay-Z. A 50 Cent, Jay-Z, and M collab at this point in time would have been incredible. And that's mostly thanks to Syllables having such a fantastic meaning. The synopsis of the track is that rap has boiled down to people only caring about a hot beat and having a catchy hook. Your verses could be filled with a whole bunch of nothing. As long as you have a fire beat and a catchy chorus, people gonna love your song and think it's the livest thing ever. This track is so ahead of its time that it's insane. As soon as the song starts, Eminem hits you with lines that have aged gracefully and are still true to this day. If we gotta dumb down our style and ABC it, then so be it. Cause nowadays these kids jizz don't give a about lyrics. All they wanna hear is a beat and that's it. There are literally thousands upon thousands upon thousands of younger rap fans in today's society that will be honest and tell you that Eminem is talking about them. Hell, there are some people that are watching this video right now that will tell you that. I don't care about lyrics for real. I just want my music to sound good. What someone is rapping about doesn't mean that much to me. I'm listening for the melodies and a cool production. If this does apply to you, then M gives you a sample of that type of rap style in this very song. After Jay spits his verse saying that the OG rappers shouldn't even try anymore to write real raps because they're just going to lose to the younger crowd making hits with simpler flows and simpler rhymes. And after Dr. Dre spits his verse where he flat out says that they can't pass the torch to any young up and coming rappers because rap music that comes out now is straight up trash, we get a very satirical hook by Eminem where the production changes to a much harder hitting beat and he sings a random catchy chorus about being in love and shorty, me and you were meant to be together. Shorty, I love you and you love me too. We were meant to be, cause shorty, you love me. This chorus has nothing to do with the rest of the song, but that's the point. It's the irony. Some people will listen to Syllables and tell you that the super random chorus is their favorite part of the track because it sounds the best. And if you're one of the people that thinks that, you're exactly the type of people that M, Dre, and 50 and them were talking about. Syllables is a great song and it's a real testament to how people who have been rapping for several years, how they felt about the state of hip hop at that time.
It is not about lyrics anymore. It is not about lyrics anymore.
all I'm hearing on the radio. Same thing.
You know some OGs like Bone Thugs was gonna have something to say at some point. This song, All I'm Hearing, is a solo Crazy Bone song, but the entire group actually has a track that fits this criteria that features Chameleon there, titled For the OGs.
This is for the OG, this is for the OG, this is for everyone back in the day.
If I ever do a part 2 to this, I will talk about For the OGs and that one instead. But for here, we have All I'm Hearing, which is the 6th track on Crazy's 3rd album, Gemini Good vs. Evil, released in February 2005. And if you haven't realized, this is the 3rd song in this video already that was released in the mid 2000s. So this already lets you know how that period was one of the darkest times in hip hop. If artists like Eminem, Jay-Z, Krayzie Bone, and a few others were talking about how watered down rap was at the time. On the chorus and through the verses, Crazy sings and raps about how every time I turn on the radio, I'm constantly hearing the same thing over and over again. Every day there's a new rapper with a hot song where it's clear they just made this to make a quick buck. Nobody is taking the time to put their soul into their lyrics anymore. Is this really what rap has come to? Now, I don't know if it's just the Bone Thugs members being conceited, but as an avid listener of these guys, one thing that they talk about a lot in their music is how many people try to copy their styles. Now, I'm not saying that they're wrong or that they're making it up, but no matter what Bone Thugs album you listen to, you're going to hear multiple rhymes about how people try to copy Bone, but y'all not cut from the same cloth as us. It's honestly to the point where they don't shut the hell up about it. And on this very song is what I mean. Krayzie Bone insists that one of the reasons up and coming rappers fail to make it is because they're trying too hard to be like him and copy his legacy. Sick of hearing the same thing on the radio, sick of seeing the same scene in the video. Everybody wanna be like somebody or look like somebody, you just need to be yourself. Have these niggas out here ain't even writing. They just sit back watching plot you and try to bite you. They keep eating my up, so I guess they like it.
Niggas try to hang with bones, so you hear the same songs, same songs, same songs.
And that's the song right there. He sings and raps about how he has multiple styles and multiple flows. So if you want to hear some real hip hop, then he's the artist that you should be listening to. Not these young dudes out here that are clearly trying to be someone that they're not and are just chasing fame. The last tail of the song is audio that I believe was ripped from a radio interview of sorts, because Crazy's voice is very staticky, but he goes on a mini rant even more about how he feels about rap and how he's a special different type of breed. Man, when I turn on the radio today, you know what I'm saying, it's like, man, I'm hearing the same thing over and over again, constantly being drilled with the same style, with the same beat, with the same everything. It's like a lot of things can change about the business because the music game ain't original no more. Everybody trying to ride the bandwagon. Everybody trying to do what this person doing. Ain't nobody trying to take the time and be creative and go about it the hard way and really earn a hit. Everybody want to jump on the bandwagon on what's selling and are looking at it as, this is what's selling right now at the time, then this is the type of song I'm gonna make. With me, it's totally different, man. Whatever is going on out in the music business, whatever is on the radio and whatever style is popping, that's what I try to stay away from. You know, I try to be an innovator and a creator. I try to be a leader and I try to do my own thing. You know, I'm not trying to follow nobody because I believe I got enough skill and enough style to hold my own to anything. If there is any song by an old school rapper that's incredibly underrated, it's this track right here. All I'm Hearing by Krayzie Bone is a fantastic record that feels like a time capsule to mid 2000s hip hop. Okay, now we have an actual song that's titled Hip Hop, so this for sure had to go in here. Apparently this song is somewhat known as it was on the soundtrack to Grand Theft Auto 4. I've never played GTA 4 or GTA 5, alright? I stopped paying attention to GTA after San Andreas. I grew up more so playing True Crime Streets of LA, True Crime Streets of New York, and True Crime Streets of Hong Kong, aka Sleeping Dogs. I don't know if the old heads watching this can relate to what I just said. I know y'all probably grew up playing Atari or fucking Asteroids at your local store. Show you right. But Hip Hop was an original song by Joel Ortiz, one of the most old head rappers ever, from his first album, The Brick Bodega Chronicles, released in April 2007. But this is not the version of the song that I want to talk about. 3 years later, in February 2010, Ortiz would drop a collab mixtape with the rapper Novel titled Defying the Predictable. On that mixtape, Ortiz would drop a remix of the song Hip Hop featuring New York's own Saigon and then New York's own Jadakiss. I know old guys love New York rappers, that's why I wanted to talk about the remix instead. Especially because of Jadakiss. I know for sure after that versus battle against Dipset, y'all old niggas love Jadakiss even more now. Overlooking the city, my nigga, I'm high up. I could get your brains blown out for $5. Always in the hood, that's cause I rep that. My paperwork good, niggas already checked that. I'm probably just comfortable cause that's where I slept at. The desert is blue steel, the 40 is jet black.
Fucking bars, nigga. Bars.
So all of these gentlemen spend this song talking about, you should already know what I'm about to say by this point. They talk about how hip hop nowadays just ain't what it used to be. Back then we had songs about this. Hip hop started out like this, and that's why we've grown to love it as is. The people don't rap about these kind of things no more. Jada has the first verse and he gets straight to it. Everybody running their mouth about how they real. Ringtones blowing the doors off album sales. Need to be telling the people about how they feel, cause that's how it all started. I'm surprised they feel ill. Music just ain't what it used to. We used to have songs that you can shoplift or boost to. Joel takes his shots by saying that these rappers are whack and that they should give their producer Joel's number because he'll do a better job rapping on these people's beats than they do. And finally, the boy Saigon has the last verse, and he shouts out fellow New York rappers who were still holding it down and doing what they could in the 2000s. Shouting out Nasir, Fat Joe with Lean Back, and Ja Rule with I got 100 clips, nigga, I'm from New York. But more notably, Saigon says how when he first got signed to a label deal, he thought that the fame and notoriety would just instantly come to him instead of having to make hit records. But little did he know that the lyrical stuff wasn't working, especially at that time. It's like I'm in the race against time. Couple years ago, I couldn't wait to get signed. I thought automatically that my face would get shine, but being lyrical was just a waste of slick rhymes. That's hard right there. Like lines like this, just these 4 lines alone, these are the type of lyrics where you can tell an artist actually like sat down and tried to write some real stuff instead of just going into the booth spitting a random freestyle. What really helps this song enjoyment, and all of the GTA 4 players will agree with this, it's the hook by Joel. It's a really smooth hook about showing your love for the genre. You can't complain about raps when it sounds this dope. Oh man, this is hip hop, hands up if you forever a fan of hip hop. I wake up hip hop, go to sleep hip hop, dream about hip hop, cause I am hip hop. Yeah, forget the original version. It's cool, but you gotta listen to the one with Saigon and
Here, take this Vicodin, like it and love it, and confidence has no budget.
For people who watch my channel and are already hip to my opinion on the Carter series, I appreciate y'all. But for the people who don't know how I feel about the Carter 3 specifically, I'll just tell y'all this. The Carter 3 is the #1 most overrated album that I've ever listened to in my lifetime. During the late 2000s decade, Wayne was on top of the goddamn world and nobody was messing with him. And although Wayne is a GOAT of all GOATs, the downside to that is I think sometimes people massively overrate everything he does and they'll call something fire simply because it came from Wayne. I think another cardinal sin that people commit when it comes to Wayne is that people don't really revisit his albums. There's some project that Wayne has that y'all loved when y'all was much younger, middle school, high school years, or hell, even when y'all was in college. But those projects are so old that I feel like people just call them fire now because they enjoyed it so much in their youth, not because they actually have revisited in modern day and still have that same opinion. People who define Carter 3 as one of the holy grails of hip hop and say it's a phenomenal album from beginning to end, no skips, every single song is great, I think all of y'all are tripping tough. I will never in my life agree that the Carter 3 is a flawless no skip album. I don't know how anybody thinks that. There are only 6 good songs on this whole project to me. 6. The other 10 songs are either just cool, they straight, or they just flat out suck. The 6 songs on the Carter 3 that are the only good songs to me are Mr. Carter with Jay-Z, Comfortable with Babyface, Tie My Hands with Robin Thicke, Let the Beat Build, Shoot Me Down, and the song that I'm going to discuss for this final entry, Dr. Carter. Dr. Carter is one of the most creative songs Weezy has made, period. Dr. Carter sees Wayne posing as a surgeon who is about to try to save the life of hip hop. The first 2 verses are prefaced by a nurse in a hospital saying what's wrong with a particular patient. And the metaphor is, instead of saying things like, this patient has a fractured lung, has a bullet to the knee, or is bleeding profusely from their nose, she says things like, this patient is suffering from a lack of confidence, no stage presence, has no respect for the culture, weak flow, no originality. And on the subsequent verse, Wayne fixes the patient by telling them helpful things such as, you have to learn how to stand out, create your own style or your own unique flows, such as someone like Andre 3000. He mentions things like it's okay to borrow from other rappers as long as you enhance what you borrowed instead of just flat out stealing. Now I will be honest and admit this. The third verse of this song is easily the weakest one. I actually wish it wasn't even on here. The nurse from before tells Wayne that this patient on the third verse actually has style, good song concepts, and respect for the culture. All they need to be fully functional is some swag. But then Wayne starts rapping a bunch of nonsense like swagger tighter than a yeast infection, fly go hard like geese erection, fashion patrol, police detection, I stay tight like Chinese connection. The whole last verse is Wayne talking about how much swag he has and how well he can beat the pussy up. It's really a weak verse to me, but at least he ends it on a good line.
Smack his face, eyes open, I reply with a night. Welcome back, hip hop, I save your life.
So yeah, the Carter 3, most overrated album in the history of rap in my opinion. But Dr. Carter, a great Wayne song, and it's a creative twist on the subject of hip hop needing a change.
Outro, outro, hip it, alto.